so clean, it don't get no fresher. Put it on ice, Dr. Pepper. Feeling so clean, it don't get no fresher. No fresher. Put it on ice, Dr. Pepper. Feeling so clean, it don't get no fresher. Put it on ice, Dr. Pepper. Feeling so clean, it don't get no fresher. Chillin' in the freezer when I'm under pressure. I put it on ice. Chillin' in the freezer when I'm under pressure. I put it on ice. Chillin' in the freezer when I'm under pressure. I put it on ice. Chillin' in the freezer when I'm under pressure. I put it on ice. Dr. Pepper, 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 Dr. Pepper. Chillin' in the freezer when I'm under pressure. I put it on ice. Chillin' in the freezer when I'm under pressure. I put it on ice. Chillin' in the freezer when I'm under pressure. I put it on ice. Chillin' in the freezer when I'm under pressure. I put it on ice. 난 지금 어디야? Shopping spree in Tokyo. 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 Wake up in my private jet, 매일 아침 터키야. Wake up in my private jet, 매일 아침 터키야. Wake up in my private jet, 매일 아침 터키야. Wake up in my private jet, 매일 아침 터키야. Flipping cards in Macau, 내가 제일 잘 나가. Stop flipping cards in Macau, 내가 제일 잘 나가. Stop flipping cards in Macau, 내가 제일 잘 나가. Stop flipping cards in Macau, 내가 제일 잘 나가. Stop throwing up my phone and won't you hit me up on Kakao. Throwing up my phone and won't you hit me up on Kakao. Throwing up my phone and won't you hit me up on Kakao. Throwing up my phone and won't you hit me up on Kakao. Diamonds in my grill and I'm 말려 new guy. Skin tone 2 carats gold I got in Dubai. Diamonds in my grill and I'm 말려 new guy. Skin tone 2 carats gold I got in Dubai. Diamonds in my grill and I'm 말려 new guy. Skin tone 2 carats gold I got in Dubai. Diamonds in my grill and I'm 말려 new guy. Skin tone 2 carats gold I got in Dubai. My boys won't hesitate to run up on your boy. My boys won't hesitate to run up on your boy. My boys won't hesitate to run up on your boy. My boys won't hesitate to run up on your boy. 등장은 짠짠짠, 뛰자 팡팡팡, disco 팡팡팡. Hello, bitch. 등장은 짠짠짠, 뛰자 팡팡팡, disco 팡팡팡. Hello, bitch. 등장은 짠짠짠, 뛰자 팡팡팡, disco 팡팡팡. Hello, bitch. 등장은 짠짠짠, 뛰자 팡팡팡, disco 팡팡팡. Hello, bitch.